Clothes tell a story. Culture and cotton farming took over the narrative in this uniquely Pinoy fashion show. We talk about Algodon, which happened at the Pinto Art Museum in Antipolo with Refugio, Arts and Sciences Foundation President and Founder, Dr. Joven Cuanang. Dr. Joven, thank you so much for joining us. Algodon is a Spanish word for cotton. Why did you initiate this revitalization of cotton from the Ilocos?
Yes, specifically in a town in Pinili, Ilocos, a barangay in Pinili, Ilocos Norte, where the old woman Magdalena Gamayo, a national treasure, resides. No, so
why did you have to revitalize the cotton industry in Pinili 6 years ago?
Well, this was the area where I sort of concentrated my effort because I'm very near it, no?
And Doc,
I'm very near.
So by revitalizing the industry for cotton in Pinili, how much volume, how much supply are you now churning out and manufacturing for the fashion industry?
Let me tell you the story. When I went to Pinili about 6 years ago, they did not, nobody was farming cotton. No? And that's disturbed me because when I found out what they were using for Inabel, no, the Ilocano fabric, it was a combination of polyester and imported cotton. And I know very well that when I was young, no, everyone had a farm. Part of the products of the farms were cotton that was interspersed with rice, corn, mungo, and other vegetables. No, so I was really disturbed by it, and I said, and besides, you know, you're using. I was told them you're using clothing that is synthetic. No. You know, it's not right. It's not. It's already against the global standards for clothing at this time. No, when we are very conscious about ecology. No, so I said, well, then let's go ahead and start reviving cotton farming. And I said, wala pa kaming. They didn't have any means, no. So I said, "How do you start?" And I said, "They said we want to start with water." And I said, "Where do you get the water?" And I said, "No." They showed me a Mars, and they said that during at the end of the rainy season, this area was flooded. So I asked them what they needed, and they said they wanted to have a pump. And I said, how much is a pump? So I gave them 30,000. And if I gave you this amount of money, will you promise that you will start cotton farming again? So 6 years ago, they started with 2 hectares of cotton farming. No? So the other issue was, where do you get the seed, no, of the cotton? And Irene, Marcos, and myself, we went. I said, Irene, you know, there's an area where they do a cotton research in front of the Mariano Marcos State University. And I said, let's go. So we're able to find Ed Renan, who in fact has, cotton seeds. So we talked to him and I said, yeah, will you help us with this particular project?
Yes.
And start teaching the farmers on how to properly plant cotton.
So Doc, let me jump in. What is your vision for this cotton farming community?
The vision really is as a doctor, no, very simple. No, I wanted to provide them with. It's a very poor village, barangay, and since I'm a doctor, no, I'm very conscious about the socio-economic determinants of health, which means that, you know, they have to have money to be able to afford themselves afford to go for health and for the education of their children. No? So I said no. That's part of the community project that I wanted to do.
So Doc,
there.
Doc, you showcased Inabel Cotton yesterday, the Pinto Art Museum. You had some of the most talented fashion designers, Pepito Albert, JC Buendia, Tony Chinoco, Mendrandi Ortiz. What signature styles did they use to showcase Inabel Cotton? And is there enough supply of Inabel Cotton for everybody to use on a large scale?
No, we had to start somewhere to demonstrate that cotton farming can be revived because cotton, Rico, was a major export in the Philippines during colonial times. No? In fact, it was utilized as the galleon trade. The sales of the galleon trade were cotton, and most of them were produced in Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur, Abra, and Pangasinan. So, there was a thriving business of cotton during our times. Naging zero kaagad, no? And the reason for that is the influx of synthetic fibers, no? And as I told you, I really don't like synthetic fibers because health-wise, it's not also good, no? So I said, we've got to be able to revive cotton farming again. So there. And from the 2 hectares of land where 6 farmers started to plant, we were able to get 2 tons of cotton, which needed to be processed. No? And I had to look for areas in the Philippines where this will be processed. And I was able to find the processing center in the PTRI, no? Here in Taguig. So, ang haba yung proseso, no?
Right.
But I did not want to give up. So I wanted to find out how the seed to the fiber to clothing can happen, no? And revive the cotton industry as part of the socioeconomic agenda of a community. So right now there are close to 40 hectares of cotton being farmed. No?
Yes.
And what I'm using for what I did was I used the 2 tons of cotton that was the first produce. I had to buy all of it. No, the reason for it is, the farmers will not continue doing it if there's no buyer. No?
That's right.
So that's what I did.
Doc?
And so the next thing,
Well, I'm sorry. We would really love to talk about Inabel Cotton and your promotion of it in the country, but we have run out of time. And we would like to thank you for the success of the Algodon fashion show at the Pinto Art Museum. The Refugio Arts and Sciences Foundation's Joven Cuanang joining us from Antipolo.